Hey, welcome, guys. Welcome. I hope you guys are having a fabulous afternoon. We're going to be getting started here shortly. And as you come on in, if you would, please put your name in the comment box where you're joining me from. I love to shout you out directly. And we're going to be getting started here in just a little bit. Want to give the algorithm an opportunity to do its thing so some other people can join us today. But I'm so welcome. I'm so glad that you are a part of this live stream today, and I'm looking forward to sharing some amazing information with you. And as you come on in, please, like I said before, put your name in. Hey Tamika, how you doing? I am so grateful and thankful for you. I'm so glad that you were able to join me today. And and if you haven't done so already, Tamika, as you always do, you are so awesome at that. If you could share this, I would greatly appreciate it. We want to be able to share this information with as many people as possible, right? So some other people can be blessed along with us, and that's what it's all about. It's all about sharing is caring, and we want to be able to continue to share so other people can be blessed as well. Can be blessed as well. And like I said, we want to be able to give the algorithm a minute or two so it can get some other people here and do its thing. And so, yeah, awesome. Welcome, everybody. Welcome as you come on in. I greatly appreciate you. And like I said, if you haven't done so already, if you could please like and share, I would greatly appreciate it. And thank you so much. And Jerry Meeks, thanks for joining me, Jerry. Love to see you. Thank you so much. All right. So, yes. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. So, hey guys, welcome. I am so glad that you are tuning in, that you have decided to take a few minutes out of your day and to spend it with me. I sincerely hope this is going to be a blessing to you, and just so glad to see you. Happy Sunday to you guys. All right, and so I'm about to get started here in just a minute. I like to honor you and honor your time. And by doing so, I love to get started on time. And we realize that the algorithm is doing its thing, and sometimes it takes a little bit for other people to get the notification that we are live. But nonetheless, um, hey, I am glad that you are here. Just real quick, guys. Money, finances, personal finances. How many people feel like this is an important topic? How many people feel like this is an important subject? How many people feel like this is something that is really important and something that we should know more about and talk about more often? Um, my goal is to try and share as much. Yes, Miss Lewis. My goal is to try to share as much as possible because I believe this is a conversation that far too many of us have. And as a result, you're going to see there are a lot of things that happen as a result of not having information, not having the opportunity to talk and to share and discuss ideas. And so the whole idea behind this isn't so much to, like we always say, it isn't. We should be talking more about money, not in the way where we brag and we're flossing and flexing. Not in that way. We want to be able to talk more about concepts that help us to become wiser and better stewards over what we have been given and what we have been blessed with. And the more and more we have the conversations about this, the more we learn, the more we get an opportunity to share, and the more other people around us are blessed. And when you're around other people who are discussing and sharing and talking about these ideas, it just becomes a hive of activity around building wealth, creating wealth, investing in those things. And that's what we really want to do. We want to have um, just a network and a close connection with people who are on the same path that we are. We don't readily recognize this, but we're all on the same journey. We're all on the same journey. And some of us are able to negotiate and navigate this journey better than others. And so we want to be able to learn as much as we possibly can from each other, so that we might be able to grow as well and be a blessing to other people. That's right, Tamika. Like-minded people is so important. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Like I said before, I want to honor your time. And so I am going to get started right now. And so I want to thank you guys so much for being a part of this broadcast. If you haven't done so already, I hope you take a moment to like it and share it so the algorithm can do its thing and other people also become a part of what we are doing here. I won't be able to see your comments as we move through this as much now that I'm in the presentation. So I will take a moment to look over and see if you have any questions. Please feel free to put those questions in the comment box. So at the end, I can take a moment to answer those questions for you as well. So, hey guys, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. Welcome to Create Your Financial Plan Challenge. Financial Plan Challenge. It is the month of November, and guys, this is the absolute best time for us to be doing what we're doing today, discussing our finances. Why? The reason why is because we now have an opportunity to see how the year has progressed so far. We now have an opportunity to kind of learn and see what our money has been doing for us up until this point in the year. And now we have a good basis, a good understanding. And so now we're in a better place that we're able to prepare for the next year and beyond. And that's what this is all about. The month of November is the absolute best time to do it. And we want to be able to do it now before the holidays get here. Once the holidays get here, we know it becomes very hectic. And you really won't have as much time to do these kind of things. So November is the absolute best time to do it. And I want to help and show you how to prepare your finances for next year and beyond. So thank you guys for joining me. So who am I? If this is your first time joining me, my name is Alex Jones. I'm a retired business owner. I used to be in the beauty industry for 23 years, and I retired last year, in 2018, 3 years ago. And since then, I've become a full-time financial educator, a licensed insurance advisor, and before now, I am an Amazon best-selling author. And that's a little bit about who I am. And so you may be wondering, what do I do? I help families get past their fear, anxiety, and doubts about money so they can live their best life and leave a legacy for their family. That's what I'm devoted to. That's what I have been doing off and on. Even when I was in the beauty industry, I was still sharing entrepreneurships, business ideas, helping people understand how to maximize and leverage their opportunity in the field. So I've always been doing things around finance, personal finances. As many of you might know, I was in corporate America. I worked in corporate finance for several years before going off of my own. So, so I've always been around this personal finance space. Now, the reason why I'm doing this, guys, my mission is to help 200 families. That's my goal. I want to be able to help at least 200 families in 2022 help change their relationship with money so they can build wealth, so they can position themselves, so they can begin to impact their future generations. And as we all know, we are commanded to what? Be a blessing to those around us, be a blessing to other people. That's the reason why we are blessed, right? And we are blessed so that we can provide leave an inheritance for our children's children. And that's what this is all about. So if you're joining me today, who is this for? This is for anyone who is maybe not making the money that you truly want to make, right? You're not earning as much money as you may want to earn. Maybe you haven't saved as much as you would like to save, right? We know sometimes savings can be a little bit of a struggle. If you are not sure how to improve your finances, but if you are someone who wants to have more financial freedom and more financial security, let me say to you, you are absolutely in the right place. Okay. So I'm going to be talking about some things today. Why am I doing this? Here are a few reasons why I'm sharing my knowledge about personal finance and my experiences as it relates to personal finances. Number one, many of us know that the subject of money is not taught in high schools. And let me tell you, it's not taught in college either. I went to business school. I studied economics and finance, no less. And there was never a class that I went to, never a class that was available that talked about how to create personal financial wealth. Not one. It is not taught in schools. And the reason why it's not taught in school, guys, is the whole system is designed to educate people so they can be more productive workers. That is the strategy. The government, the system wants you to be a more productive worker. They don't want to show you how to create more personal wealth. That's not the goal. They want you to be a more productive worker so you can become a taxing unit. You can be a unit of productivity. I don't know if you guys watched the movie The Matrix. Basically, that kind of lays out what this is all about, right? They want you to be a source of productivity and a source of energy so you can become a taxing unit, not for you to create and have personal wealth for yourself. The other reason why is many people are afraid to talk about money. People are afraid to talk about money. We have this unhealthy relationship when it comes to money. We have this unhealthy perspective that says the more money you have, the more worth or more value you have, and that's absolutely not true. Your net worth doesn't determine your self worth, and it should never do that. And so, too many times, people will look and say, the more money you have, the more important, the more self-important I am. And that's absolutely not true. Some people don't want to talk about money because of past mistakes they've made. Maybe they're not where they want to be in their finances. And so it keeps them from talking about money because I don't want someone to know that maybe I'm not, I'm not as rich or as wealthy as I, may portray myself to be, right? It could be any number of reasons. The other reason why is when I look around being a financial coach and financial educator, when I look at the information that's out there in the marketplace, most of it is geared towards either baby boomers or is geared toward millennials. Very little information is geared towards people who are Generation X. Generation X people are those who are ages 40, between the ages of 40 and 56. And so what we find is most of the information will relate to people who are millennials, or it's going to talk to baby boomers, people who are uh, retirees or very, very close to being retirees. And my other reason why is because we know women typically are unpaid or paid unfairly. They're not Women typically are not paid as much as men, and we know that African Americans as a whole are not compensated as much as our white counterparts. So we have some areas, some challenges, and we have some obstacles that we need to know. How do we begin to tackle these challenges? How do we begin uh, to take the things that we find to be roadblocks and obstacles, and how do we begin to overcome those things? And that's why I'm sharing the information that I share. So it is said that 32% of all Americans say they have they have a budget that they set up and they keep. So that means fully 70%, 70% of people don't have a budget or a plan that they set up and follow. And guys, we're talking about 7 out of 10 people. That's a lot of people, and we want to be able to change that. So if you look at it, 57% of all Americans have less than $1,000 saved. 57%. We're talking about almost 60% of people don't have $1,000 saved. When it comes to African American net worth compared to white families, African Americans typically have about $17,000 of net worth when you add up all your assets, add up all your liabilities, and subtract the two. That's the number that you left with, $17,000. Okay, as compared to our white counterparts, they're at typically $170,000. So we're just a fraction, just 10% of what our white counterparts, white families, have been able to amass in terms of net worth. So we also know that if we look at an average of monthly household expenses across the country, guys, on average in 2020, it's probably going to be even higher in 2021. That the average is $5,000 a month, and yet the average Social Security check is only $1,451 a month. So there's a huge gap. There's a huge gap, and I lay this out because I want people to know and to understand that if we keep living and keep moving in the trend that we're moving towards, that if we are relying on Social Security to be our safety net, it's not going to be much of a safety net, and it looks like it's going to be a big hole in our safety net, right? And so somewhere along the way, we're going to have to figure out how to make up the difference. And so that's what I'm really talking about and sharing with you guys today. So people who are 60 and over, 7 out of 10 of those people are probably going to need long-term care, whether that be assisted living, whether it be having an in-home caregiver, or a nursing home. Okay, and the average cost of assisted living is somewhere around $4,500 a month. And this was something that I came firsthand, face to face with. My mother was diagnosed with early onset dementia, and we found out very early, how ugly this can get if we are not in a place where we are set up financially. And so we found out how this works, and let me tell you, um, if you're not set up well and not prepared for these type of eventualities, it can really, really do a number on your finances. So, what separates the wealthy people, those who have amassed a certain amount of wealth, from those who are not wealthy or those who have not? And let me share with you guys, the one thing is a financial plan. Do you have a financial plan? People who have amassed a certain amount of wealth, they have done so because they've developed a plan that they work with, a plan that they utilize, and it's a comprehensive document, plan, strategy, blueprint, roadmap that helps them to figure out how they're going to navigate the eventualities and the things that they want to get to in life. So my question is, do you have a plan? So they use and create a financial plan, which is so important. So you may be wondering, what exactly is a financial plan? Am I talking about you going to talk to a stockbroker, going to talk to your banker, going to talk to an insurance agent? Well, it could be all of those things, and it could be none of those things. What is a financial plan? A financial plan is a comprehensive picture of your current finances, okay? And it takes into account your financial goals. And then it's a document that helps you determine what strategies you will put in place, what resources you will need, what tools do you put in place to help you reach those financial goals. Okay, so that's what this is about. This is a comprehensive picture of your current finances, your goals, and strategies to help you reach those goals. Now, what if you don't have a financial plan? Let me just say, like I said before, don't worry, you are in the right place. Very quickly, I want to let you know that I do have a master class that's coming up. This is next Saturday, November 20th. How to create a powerful financial plan that's easy to manage and helps you stay on track. So I'm going to talk more about this toward the end, but if you have to jump off for any reason, please visit alexbjones.com/plan and take a look at that, okay? So what's the first thing? The first thing that you absolutely must do in order to put together your financial plan for the rest of 2021 and 2022 and beyond. The first thing that you really need to know, what are your financial goals? What is it that you want to accomplish? What is it that you want to be, do, and have in life? Those things need to be something that you write down, that you begin to flesh out. The word talks about people perish for a lack of knowledge. Write the vision and make it plain. So you want to make sure that you write down, what is your vision? How do you want to live your life? What experiences do you want to have? Who do you want to help in the world? How do you want to live? How do you want to be able to bless other people? You need to know what you want your life to look like, right? And once you have an idea of what it is that you want to do, what do you want to have, what do you want to accomplish, when you want to retire, whatever it is, once you kind of know those things, guys, now you are in a much better place to figure out what is the cost associated with that. How much does that cost you, right? And once you have an idea of what's the cost, what's the time frame, when do you want to have these types of experiences, when do you want to retire, when do you want to buy your first home, second home, or rental property? Whatever it is, you want to know what your financial goals are. Those things are extremely important. And not until you actually write them down, does it become real. Whatever's in your head doesn't become, you can't get what's in your head, you can't get it in your hand until you begin to have what? A blueprint. Let me ask you guys a question real quick. Um, how many people would buy a house that wasn't built with the blueprint? Let me see a show of hands. Who would buy a house where the builders didn't use a blueprint? They just did it. They just did it off the top of their head. You know, they said, oh yeah. Oh, we want to build a 3-bedroom house. We want what? Three bathrooms. Okay, we want it to be 2-story. Okay, yeah. Let's go ahead and just build it. You got a blueprint? No, we don't have a blueprint. We're just gonna go ahead and build it. How many people would buy that house? That's a question. That's a question for you guys. How many people would buy that house? I don't know about you. I wouldn't. I wouldn't buy a house that didn't follow a blueprint, didn't follow a floor plan, right? I don't know about you, but I wouldn't. So the first thing that we really want to do, once you have determined what your goals are, how do you want to live your life? What type of experiences you want to have? Who do you want to help? What do you want to accomplish? How much is going to cost you? Once you go through that process and you're able to write down your vision for your life, the first thing your financial plan next is you need to have an earning strategy. An earning strategy. As I always say, the way that you earn your money, all money ain't equal. How you earn money ain't equal. Every dollar that you earn, depending on how you earn it, it comes to you and it flows to you in different ways, different flows. It's called currency, right? Money that comes to you as an investor, it can come to you very quickly. It can come to you passively. You can be earning income as an investor while you are sleeping, while you're on vacation, while you are doing whatever you want to do in life. If you are if you are a person who has a job, who is self-employed, then we have to go in and we gotta do what? We gotta make the donuts. If we don't make the donuts don't get made. And if the donuts don't get made, we don't make money, right? So in that instance, trading hours for dollars, earned income. People who earn income by working a job are taxed higher. Remember I said the system is set up for people to be productive workers and to be taxed. Well, the highest tax rate is for people who go in, who have a job, who receive a check every week, every 2 weeks, every month. That income gets taxed higher than any other form of income. If you're earning $100, if you earn $100 as an investor, you're only going to be taxed 15%. If you make your money as an investor or a business owner who buys property, real estate, guess what? When you sell one home and you buy another home within 180 days, guess what? You don't pay any tax on the difference. You don't pay any tax on the difference between what you paid and what you sold it for, if you roll that money over into another real estate deal. See, the system isn't set up for workers to win. So you have to make sure that you have a strategy for earning income. What's going to be the best and most effective way for you to make money? There are eight different ways you can do it. Earned income, which is when you have a check or a job, is probably the least best way to do it, but it's the way that most people do. You can earn rental income. You can have profits from a business. You can have dividends, capital gains, right? All of these are different ways that you can develop and have multiple streams of income. So your earning strategy should be one that helps you to, first of all, create multiple streams, right? You want those multiple streams to be as passive as you possibly can make them, meaning you don't trade hours for dollars, and meaning the money still comes in with very little effort on your part. And then finally, you want to make sure that your money is coming in what I call efficiently, meaning it's not taxed as much. You want your money to be efficient. So your strategy, your financial plan should, number one, have a earning strategy attached to it. So what else does a powerful, effective financial plan have? Well, it has a savings strategy attached to it, a savings strategy. So once we know exactly how we are earning our income, now that we know that we have multiple streams of passive income that are coming in to fund our lifestyle, to fund our investment goals, to fund the things that we want to do in life. Once you have those things in place, you now want to make sure that you are what? Saving and managing those things effectively. Saving and managing those things effectively. Did you know 68% of people who make over $100,000 a year are still living paycheck to paycheck? That is crazy. People who are earning six figures and above, 68% of those people are still living paycheck to paycheck. So it goes to show you it isn't the amount of money that you earn, um, although that's a contributing factor, but it's also how you save and manage that money. And one of the top ways of doing that is you must have a spending plan. You must know exactly what every dollar you earn, what is it doing? What is it doing for you? I always tell people your money is going to do one of two things. Your money is either going to make you wealthy or somebody else wealthy. And the choice is yours. And so this becomes dependent on what's your savings strategy. How do you manage your money? The next thing you also want to look at is what's your savings rate? What percentage of the income you earn do you actually save? Because oftentimes that's going to be a big determinant in your ability to build wealth. See? And so we're talking about having a saving strategy. You need to have a spending plan for every single dollar that comes in. You must know exactly where your money is going, how much money is being spent, either to make you wealthy or to make someone else wealthy. How do you begin to eliminate what I call wealth killers? Wealth killers called taxes, called inflation, called interest and debt. These are things that unnecessary spending. These are things that you have to absolutely eliminate and tackle. And if you don't have a strategy in place, a saving strategy in place to do that, then it's likely that you're going to mismanage the earnings that you do make. A lot of people wind up saying, Alex, I don't have as much money. I don't have enough money at the end of the month. And so my philosophy would be, well, why wait to save at the end of the month? The idea is you might need to start saving by doing what? Paying yourself first. It's a simple thing that we hear people talk about. Many of us say it. It sounds very cliquish and cliche-ish, but so few of us take the time to pay ourselves first. And then even better, you want to automate that process. So you don't have to rely on willpower or discipline to make sure that it happens. This is all a part of your savings strategy. And and you must have a savings strategy to have an effective and powerful financial plan. What's the next thing you must have? Now that you know exactly how much you have coming in, now that you have figured out how to save and manage, um, uh, a good portion of the money that you've earned, now let's talk about how do you begin to invest it. Reason why we're investing it, because you cannot save your way to wealth. You can't save your way to wealth. Why is that? Because this little known silent killer called inflation. Inflation. Inflation, my friend, is eating up your pockets silently every single day. Lately, you might have noticed that people are talking about the inflation rate. Maybe you have seen that lately. The inflation rate has ticked up to, I think, is 6%, 6.3% recently. It's higher than it's been in any time in the last 30 or 40 years. This is something that we have to make sure that we take account and that we watch, because that means if you have $100 today, that means your same $100, if you only saved it, it's going to be worth $94 come next year. So you want to make sure that you are taking your money and you are putting it in a place where your money can actually be growing for you. Many people who are working, who have a job, a lot of times companies actually have what's called a 401k plan. And I meet so many customers, so many of the people that I coach are not or were not taking advantage of their 401k program. And that's a missed opportunity, because usually companies will match the income, the monies that you contribute to a 401k. They'll usually match either dollar for dollar, or they'll match 50% up to a certain amount. And so, for instance, if you put in $100 and if they match 50% of that, then that means that your $100 is now worth $50. $50. So it's worth $150. So you just got a 50% increase on your money, just like that, and it hasn't even been invested yet. It means that we have to start availing ourselves and learning about the different opportunities. Let me take a step back in terms of savings. There is actually the government has put in place what's called the Savers Tax Credit. Okay, the Savers Tax Credit. So for last year, and they're doing it for this year as well, that if you make a certain amount of money, and I'm thinking it's somewhere around the $40,000 range, somewhere around there. If you're making around 40,000 or less, let me not misspeak on that. But the idea behind the Savers Tax Credit is that if you make a certain percentage, not too high, that if you put monies in a qualified savings investment, the government will match you up to 50% of what you're putting in. Okay, and a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people was not aware of that. And that's the reason why we should be having these conversations more and more and more. And so, in any case, back to investing. Investing is all about understanding, again, what are your financial goals? What is it that you're trying to reach, and by what time frame? Guys, let me know if this is making sense so far. Is this making sense? Do you happen to have a 401k program at your job? Or if you happen to be self-employed, a lot of people that I talk to are self-employed. Have you put together your own individual retirement plan, whether that be a SEP or an IRA, or maybe your own Roth? Okay, Tamika. Okay. Tamika, when in the master class, I'm gonna go over some of those opportunities, Tamika. So you are definitely going to get this information in the master class. Okay, Miss Lewis, makes sense. Okay, all right. So this is something that we definitely want to avail ourselves to, and we want to be able to understand how do we begin to invest in a way that makes sense. Because again, we know, just like inflation, if it's up 5 or 6%, now you need to be making sure, what can I put my money in and invest in that's going to grow at least 5 or 6%, right? And you want to make sure that you're putting it in a place where the risk is not as great. Because as you know, as we get older, as we get closer to retirement age, or as we get closer and closer to the date where we need the funds, right? You want to make sure that you begin to not risk as much. So you need to make sure that we are first looking at, what are our financial goals? What is our time frame? What's my investment philosophy and my risk tolerance? Okay. And how do I begin to put those things together so I'm able to make smart choices about where I put my money and how my money grows? So Miss Lewis says sometimes she thinks she puts too much money aside. Um, but I agree with you. I don't think you can put too much money aside, only to the degree that if it hampers your living, if it keeps you from really being in a place to fully appreciate life, if you begin to worry not about not having enough, but if you begin to worry about what you do have, kind of like a mother hen that's always kind of checking on her eggs. If it's getting to a place like that, then it might be something. It might be a little bit unhealthy. Um, but other than that, I think saving as much as you possibly can without crimping your lifestyle and without living, I think is always an excellent thing. Um, so you want to make sure that your investing strategy is one that helps you meet your financial goals in a way that does not overly put you at risk. Okay, and it helps you to eliminate taxes. It helps you to make sure that you have money set aside to do the things you need to do when you need to do them. And there are so many different investment strategies out there. And guys, I know sometimes we worry that it's too hard or it's too difficult. Let me tell you, it really isn't. This can be such an easy and hands-off way for you to be able to build wealth over time when you set it up the right way. When you set up your accounts the right way, you put them in place. All you have to do is just kind of watch them and manage them from time to time. Check in on them maybe once a quarter or once every 6 months to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, right? And over time, when you set it up the right way and you automate this process, you can really amass a real, we're talking about real wealth. So, your financial plan, in order for it to be effective and in order for it to be powerful, it must have an investing strategy associated with it. The fourth item that your financial plan needs to have in order for it to be powerful, effective, and easy to manage is you need to have a strategy for protecting your income, for protecting your assets. You might be wondering, protecting your assets from what, Alex? What are you talking about? Well, we already talked about protecting it from inflation. If you put your money in the wrong place, banks, if your money is sitting in a bank, if it's sitting in a CD, if it's sitting in treasury bonds, right? Those things aren't paying enough to keep up with inflation. So your money is being eaten up, it's being eaten alive, right? So we talked about taxes. There are taxes, there are investments that there are ways that you can put your money in that grows, that either gets taxed, or grows tax deferred, or it grows tax free. And so most of the time, you can only get one of the two, right? You can only get the contribution or the tax break. It can only grow tax deferred, or it can grow tax free. And there's so many different ways to do that, and I'll be going through examples of that in the master class as well. But along with protecting your money, we have lawsuits. The number one reason why people go into bankruptcy is medical bills. The main reason why people wind up in foreclosure is because of loss of income. See, there are so many other things that people don't think about. I went to a auction, foreclosure auction earlier this week, and one of the properties that I was bidding on, that particular property was being foreclosed, but it was being foreclosed on the estate of. And what that means is the homeowner obviously had passed away. And so now the home is actually being foreclosed on by the bank. Now, I would imagine when the person had the home or the homeowner was alive, making the purchases, I'm quite sure the person who owned the home did not want to see the bank take it back. But all too often, because we don't set things up properly, we don't have the right protection strategies in place, we don't have the right documents in place, oftentimes the government will come in and take our properties. If we have to go into an assisted living facility and we have to try to qualify for Medicare, or excuse me, for Medicaid, Medicaid has what's called a 5-year look back period. They want to take a look at everything that you own within the last 5 years to determine whether or not you qualify for Medicare. For Medicaid. And if you have too many assets, they want to see you spend those assets down before you can qualify. So if someone finds themselves in a situation where they need to be in assisted living or in a nursing home or what have you, and we want Medicaid to take care of some of those expenses, they don't want you to have anything. So I say that to say that you don't want to spend your whole life building your assets, amassing your wealth, right? And then not have it go to the people that you want it to go to. You want it to pass to the next generation, and you want to be able to pass with as little taxes as possible, right? You want as much of your assets to get to the people that you love and you want to have it. But too many times, my father, when he passed away, unfortunately, he did not have life insurance at the time. So, and there was no GoFundMe back then. Okay. And so we can't use GoFundMe as a strategy to take care of people's final expenses. It does nothing for setting up the next generation to be more successful. In fact, it hindered us a little bit because now we had to take our money and we had to, to pay final expenses. Now, I'm not complaining about it as much as I'm saying that, again, a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. And so we want to be able to have our stuff situated so we have the right documents in place. We have the right insurances in place. We have the right investments in place so things can get passed on so they can be a blessing to the next generation, not a liability to the next generation. And so that's what your protecting strategy want to be. So guys, how do you feel? How do you feel? Let's be honest. How do you feel right about now? How do you feel right about now? I don't know about you. I know when I began this process, I definitely felt overwhelmed. But it wasn't because I was able to retire because at some point I began to take seriously the fact that I was not going to be able to work my entire life, nor did I want to work my entire life. At some point, I would want to I want to have assets working for me, money working for me. There were experiences and things that I wanted to do, be, and have in life. And I knew that those were things that I could not do. So at some point, I began to get serious about my finances. I began to get serious about my financial growth and building wealth. It was only then that I began to put myself around other people, expose myself to mentors and coaches and other people who were able to help me along the way. And had I not done that, I would still be working daily, day in and day out for money. And so now that I've put those things in place, it has allowed me to be able to retire in 2018. So I'm able to spend time with you guys to share this type of information so you can be a blessing for your family as well. So let's see here. Let me go through and see if you have any comments or questions that I might be able to take a look at. Exactly. Okay. So let me ask a question here. By show of hands, how many people would love to have a strategy or a plan for developing your financial plan for 2022 and beyond? How many people would love to have that? By show of hands. Let me see in the comments. So The beautiful thing about it. Yep, I see you. Thank you. Um, like I said before, it was because I started to take this thing seriously that finally allowed me to get to a place of being able to retire and live a lifestyle. My wife and I, we work from home. We get a chance to spend our time doing what we call passion projects, doing the things that we love doing. She loves helping female business owners with their social media content. She loves doing that thing to help them figure out what content to put together. That's her thing, and she retired from the education industry. She was a professor for 17 years, and so now we get to have um, we spend that's my love, that's my best friend. That's we spend our days together doing passion projects. If we feel like going out and working or doing something, we can do it. And if we don't feel like it, we don't have to. And that was all because we took a different pathway. She was in education, I was self-employed as a business owner, but we still had some of the same principles. And let me share with you what those are. So next Saturday coming up, I have the how to create a powerful financial plan that's easy to manage and stays on track. Now in this master class, I've already talked to you about what the four areas of your fire plan should be: earning, saving, investing, and protecting your assets. But then I'm going to actually walk you through step by step on how to gain a thorough understanding of where you are currently in your finances. Then we're going to develop what goals you want to have for yourself, what things you want to be, do, and have, and by when. And once we understand those things, now we're now able to say what are our priorities and our values. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to start setting up strategies. We're going to start looking at tools and resources that are going to help us reach our financial goals. As a result, you're going to have less stress and you're going to have better relationships. Better relationship, first of all, with money. And if you have a significant other or family members, you're more likely to have a better relationship with them as well, because money won't be a source of issue. Money won't be a problem. And I saw a quote that said the other day that you want to get to a place, if a place of, if money is the problem, then you don't want to have a problem. You want to get to that place. You want to get to a place where money is not the issue. Now we can start thinking about other things. And that's how we want to be able to live life. And finally, you want to be able to say, hey, I want to live a higher quality of life, not limited by finances. And I want to be able to leave a legacy for my family. And that's what I want to do. So, again, the master class is coming up. How to create a powerful financial plan that's easy to manage and stays on track. You can go to alexbjones.com/plan to take a look at it. And because you are one of my VIPs, if you enroll today, guys, the regular price of this course is $47, this master class. But if you enroll today, you can get in for $27. So it's just that simple. This is something that absolutely should be a part of every person's conversation, because again, we know that for the majority of us do not have a plan in place. We're winging it every day. We're just going through life, just trying to figure it out, making mistakes, doing this, doing that. And there's nothing wrong with making mistakes. If you're not making mistakes, then you're not trying anything. But I always say wise people learn from other people. Wise people figure out who has the information and resources, so you don't have to make some of the same mistakes. See, at some point, the school of hard knocks, at some point, the school of hard knocks might just knock you out. And we might get to a place where we don't get a chance to what? We don't get a chance to get back up because it's really put us back in a bad, bad way. And most of these things can be really, really, if we just take a little bit of time and we begin to plan, that you begin to strategize, that you begin to put these four elements and these four things in place, you will be amazed at how quickly life changes for you in the area of your finances. And that's what we want to be able to do. And that's what I want to be able to help you guys do. So, um, please, if you have any questions, please let me know. Please let me know. Um, I think someone asked, is the masterclass only going to be available on Saturday? As of right now, yes, but there will be a replay. Okay, there will be a replay that you can actually that you will actually get. Okay, and in addition to that, one of the things that I always try to do is I always try to make sure that I'm available to answer questions for people along the way. So within this master class, there's also a Facebook group that I've already put together that Tamika is a part of, where I can answer questions within the group as well. And you get an opportunity to support and to encourage each other and share information together. So so that way, I definitely say if you don't get a chance to make it to the course, you still will get a lot of value, a lot of value from it. A young lady wants to know, do I do one-on-one financial assistance? Yes, I do. And that's something that is available. And I'm actually going to, after this masterclass, there's probably going to be something that I have on the horizon here very soon that I think will be extremely helpful. But yes, I do one-on-one financial coaching as well. Um, so yes. So yeah, guys, if you have any questions, I love to answer. Otherwise, I truly hope to see you inside the master class. Um, and yeah, yeah. I know you are very welcome, Miss Meeks. You are very welcome. Um, so I just know, guys, that this has truly been a blessing for me. And I don't want to hold this knowledge back from anybody. And as much as possible, I want to see people win. I want to see people be successful. I want to see people grow. I want to see people have experiences and joy and peace in their lives. Um, because we work too hard for it. We deserve it. And oftentimes, the only reason why we're not at a position that we truly want to be in life is because we oftentimes just don't have the information. And so I just want to encourage each and every one of you, if there's any fear, doubt, anxiety, if there's anything that any embarrassment, any of that stuff, guys, I want you to know that you are in a safe space. I don't care if you are someone who has zero, nothing. I have people who are starting from scratch, and I have people that I coach who are millionaires. And it doesn't matter to me. I want to see everybody win. And the degree, and each of us can win. The only difference is if we're going to take the first step. And I hope that I've made you feel safe, uh, made you feel comfortable in letting you know that you are in good hands. We're not here to make you feel bad for things that you did or didn't do in the past. I'm only concerned about how do we learn from those past experiences and how do we begin to take them and make them and allow them to make us even better people going forward. And that's what this is all about for me. And so if you know someone else who who can benefit for this information as well, please share this with them. Sharing is caring. And we want to get to a place in life that we're surrounded by what, 100,000aires, by millionaires, by people who are like-minded, by people who want to see you succeed and grow, by people who want to see you, who want to have healthy competition with you, who says, "Oh, okay, I see you. I see how you're doing. All right, let me see if I can do a little bit better. Let me see if I can do a little bit more." And then when you begin to have those successes, right, that people are cheering you on, that people are saying to you, "Job well done. I'm excited for you. And you know what? I knew you can do it. I knew you can do it." And let that be an inspiration to all of us. And that's what this is all about. So, Tamika, I look forward to seeing you inside to Masterclass. Tamika is already in, and I hope to see many of you as well. All right. So, with that said, God bless you. Amen. And I will see you on next time. Hope to see you in the class, the master class. All right. Take care. God bless. See you next time.